Hey everyone, this is a new horse at the therapy barn, and this is my first day working with the new horse. My job is to get her comfortable in the arena and calm at the mounting block. So this is her first time in this environment. I have her tied, and she seems to be a little worried by what I think is light. So you can see she calms down a little bit when I get closer, and she's like just a little bit nervous about something going on over here. So she was better then. Now I walk away and she gets nervous all over again and decides to wet herself. So sorry. But stuff happens. So yeah. So then the closer I get, she gets a little bit more relaxed. She's keeping an eye on me. She's just not quite sure about something at the base here of the arena. So I think at some point here, I tried to speed up with some of it because I wanted you guys to see all her reactions, but obviously it took a little longer for all this stuff to kind of go down. So now I kind of come over here and just kind of sit with her. Now she relaxes quite a bit there. She's curious, and so I'm just going to let her be curious. Curious is better than fearful. I mean, she's still anxious. She's still fearful, but she's showing signs of curiosity. So I decided to just go ahead and introduce her to her surroundings and give her plenty of room to react. And if she wants to react, I'm going to let her react and just help build her confidence. So we're going to go investigate the arena. And I noticed it seems like it was the light coming underneath the barn. We need a new arena, or at least some repair work, because I don't think daylight's supposed to come underneath the wall like that. So that's what's kind of freaking her out. Now there could be smells under there too. So we're going to go ahead and just take a look around the arena here. So this horse is fairly new to the program. I think this is her third weekend, and I do believe this might be my first session with her. So I was assigned horses that need to just kind of learn to be calm at the mounting block, need to just kind of just chill. Apparently that's my skill. Feet and helping horses relax. And kind of getting them used to scarier things. So because she reacted to the light, I'm going to I brought her into the light there too. And so I'm looking at all the light spots, and I'm going around the arena, and I noticed there was some holes, some places where some varmints have come in. So the arena does change. Varmints have come in. I think there was a skunk or a groundhog in the corner of the arena one time. And, if you don't take your horse around the arena and kind of walk in hand one time, you don't want to discover these things while you're on the horse's back. You don't want to be noticing these things that your horse all of a sudden went, whoa, what the heck is that? In the saddle. So that's kind of the purpose here, and her letting her know that, pay attention to me and everything's fine. You're not going to die today. If we can survive the day in the arena, the next time we come in the arena, we'll know chances are we're going to survive the day. So the more a horse does something, the more comfortable they get at it. And I'm showing her that spot again. I think we still get a bit of a reaction here. She's still kind of not trusting that spot. Yeah, she'll deal with it. Obviously, she's not as reactive as she was, but she's like, yeah, I'm not still 100% trusting it. So I thinking along those lines, she needs to learn to be able to stand tied. So I brought her to the other side of the arena where there's a traffic noise, but maybe not the light, to see if we had a little better. Now we got a little pullback there. I think we got, yep, one more pullback. But after that, she really calms down. Now I don't have her, she's tied kind of long and things could go bad, but because the way she's tied onto that clip, the line really will just pull through. So if she was to get her leg over and pull back or whatever, the line would just pull through and she'd be fine. So it's better that if she's going to get in a train wreck, she does it in a controlled situation where she learns that she's going to survive the day. So that's what I'm doing here, is letting her know that, yeah, you can be tied here and you're going to survive the day. So she's her head's down. I'm not saying she's calm. She's still a little apprehensive, but she's calmed herself, and I think that was a good success. Now I was going to call it, but because we were kind of just dealing with fearful things, and because of that little reaction right there, I decided we were also supposed to work at the mounting block. So we're going to work at bringing her up to the mounting block and letting her know that when you stand still at the mounting block, nothing bad's going to happen to you over here. The only job to do here is just kind of stand. The mounting block for our group of horses is a very scary place. As you can see, we kind of put them in a chute where there's confines on both sides. Now this is where, as you can see, horses aren't used to seeing that other side, and that's a little nerve-wracking. She's in a confined space. She doesn't feel like she can move freely. She's a little anxious. She can see out the door. She can see out into the parking lot from where she's standing, and she's looking at maybe a lawnmower out there and a couple other things. But I need her to just know that all she has to do when she's here is just breathe. Just breathe. Now, she's really trying to be a good girl. Every time I ask her that head down, she knows the cue. She's listening to it really well, but she's holding her breath. So I'm just trying to get her to just quit holding her breath. She tries. She's trying to be a good girl. She's trying really hard. But this isn't something that you can teach overnight. I mean, how does it work when someone tells you to calm down? Just calm down. Yeah, that works. So basically, we have to let her know or teach her by doing it, and it takes time. And that's one of the things that we forget with horses is it takes time. And you have to be willing to put in the time. Horses don't just calm down. You can flag a horse and just keep desensitizing it till it just gives up, but that's not the same kind of calm that we want. That's a holding your breath kind of calm, which she's okay at doing. See, head down. Okay, I'll put my head down. She's doing that. But here, now she's nervous. What are you doing over there on that side? She doesn't like this. Here she says, I gotta move. I can't do this anymore. So I'm like, okay, if we gotta move, let's move. And I'm not gonna punish her. She didn't do anything wrong, but I'm gonna at least do something constructive. If we're gonna move, let's go ahead and practice yielding our back end. If we need to move, we can move, but we're gonna do a couple things like this. So I'm gonna give her a couple minutes, maybe 2 minutes of a little bit of constructive groundwork, getting her soft, making sure we understand each other, doing something constructive. I'm not mad. She's not mad. I'm not making her sweat. None of those things, because those things aren't necessary. All that's important is that I just make her move her feet a little bit and say, okay, I know you needed to move your feet. Okay, did we get those squirrels out? Let's come back and try again. So now here she kind of pushes a little too close to me. I want to remind her to keep her space. The mounting block, we want there should be plenty of space and comfort and breathing and relaxation. No one's rushing. Nobody has to push through anybody. So here I just decided to just kind of hang out with her here. And I think this is the part where she finally does time to learn to relax. But even so, you still see that look on her face. She's trying a little harder here. But she's still anxious there. She's looking at something. I'm trying to get her nose back to center, but I then say, okay, what is it that you're looking at? And I think that helps to say, okay, you do see something. Yep, I see it too. It's okay. And that acknowledging what they see sometimes helps them relax even more. By me just saying straighten your head, see, that didn't work. But once I kind of said, okay, what are you looking at? That seemed to help. Say, okay, I see what you're seeing. Yep, don't worry. Now here I was noticing she was holding her breath. So I'm sticking my fingers in her mouth, just trying to get her to open her mouth and force her to lick and chew a little bit. And just like when we force ourselves to inhale and exhale, it does work a little bit. You can see she kind of gets a little bit softer here. Now this session doesn't end on a horse that's going to fall asleep. We don't get there. But we're just going to get a tiny bit more here, and then we're going to call it. So she says, I can say there.
Good job. Okay, let's go home.
So she was a really good girl. This was our first session together, and every session ends with a little bit of a cookie, a little bit of a thank you to let them know that everything was good, we survived the day, and there was a treat at the end. So maybe, it might have been worth it after all. So if you watch this, thank you very much for watching. Again, I know sometimes they're long, but I think you need to, it's a process, not an event, and things take time, and you have to kind of wait out the boring parts to get the results you want. So a couple more sessions like this, and she'll be bomb-proof before you know it.